All right, so we're going to make it so we can pinch and zoom to make our model bigger and smaller, right? We're used to that UI of a phone of pinching and to make zooming happen. So we're going to do this not through coding, but we're going to do it through something, the visual coding they call the patches in this here. So I'm going to go to View, Show the Patch Editor, and our patch editor will be right here. And so another thing I want to do set up is really we're going to be actually, I'll come back to that. Let's look at the patch editor here, right? So this is a place where we add those blocks like we did Playmaker in Unity. So I'm going to simply right click or control click in here and say, well, what do I need to do first? I need to capture that interaction. So what I'm going to look for, the interaction we're going to look for is a screen pinch, right? And this is when someone pinches their fingers right here, right? And we'll say add the patch. And we'll say here, you see here we have these two things, this gesture state, this scale. We've got some of this too. We don't really have to worry about that, but this will become important soon. So what I need to do with this is, so I'm going to take this screen pinch, and what's going to come out of these things, that really what you see when you see these out things, that means it's listening for when a screen gets pinched, and then it would send like information, like a gesture state would be like, yes, it's being pinched, and a scale would be then like, what's the math of how far it's being pinched, right? Kind of a thing. So we need to take this math and turn it into kind of a multiplier. Let's think of it that way. So I'm going to control click on this again, and this time I'm going to look for something called pack. And we're going to say this pack, and what this does is it packs together, it takes input one number, right? And so this number is this number of scale, how much the pinch is happening. And it's going to basically take that into multiple numbers, right? And think about it, we need to scale this thing on an X, Y, and Z axes. So that's what we're going to turn that one number into three things with pack. So I'll say add this patch right here. Right? And so now if you if for some reason one time I did this and it had something already in there, all you have to do is grab this and take that out, right? But we need the scale one, right? And so this is the X value, this is going to be the Y value, this is going to be the Z value, right? And so now we're having all those mapped together. And so the last thing we need to do is then we'll tell it what we want to scale. Now might have multiple things in here, right? If remember, we set up this null object. So I'm actually going to rename that just to be cleaner than null object. I'm going to call this the, I'll just call it interactions, because this is where we'll kind of put all our interactions. We're going to have more of them. And now with this selected, you're going to see in your inspector we have like these transformations, right? And our scale's at 1. So I'm going to highlight this little arrow here and click it, and you'll notice that this comes in here. And so I'm going to output, right? The number that's coming out of here will map to these, right? And so now this is it. This is how our interaction will be able to pinch and zoom to make our animal bigger. It's not going to move yet. We're going to have to separately twirl around the critter. But go ahead and put this together and test it on your device to make sure that you can pinch and zoom your T-Rex.